All right, you loyal listeners. Welcome to another episode of Agents Influence Conversations with who? Cass Dog, rocking your microphone. Hey, I got my boy here on today. You may not know who he is. I didn't know who he was either until he came into my agency and said, Cass, I can help you out. I said, man, I'm tired of people telling me that. He said, Cass, this is what I can do for you. And I stopped and said, holy shit, that's what I need help on. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Brenden Corr has done something that has changed our agency because I, training my producers, was training them the way Cass used to do it, giving them the frustration that Cass used to have, giving them the inefficiencies that Cass used to have. And then Brenden Corr walked into my life. Well, I guess you could say like emailed. He kind of like slid in the DMs. You know what I'm talking about? But here's the deal, man. Now we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about everything else. And you know that I'm going to make this interesting for you because you took your time to listen to this. And I want to tell you right now, as a loyal listener of Agents Influence, thank you. That's all I got to say. Brenden, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks, Cass. Appreciate you having me on. Thanks for giving us a chance to talk about Lost Run Pro today. Great solution, and I'm glad you guys are loving it.
Yeah, and loyal listeners, we ain't going to talk all about that. That'd be boring as shit if we did that. But see, he works for the company, so he's got to get that shout out right there, loyal listeners. That's okay. He changed my life with that program. Brenden, you ready for this?
Let's do it, man.
Loyal listeners, just so you know, it is 1:03 in the afternoon. You're thinking, what? Jason is doing one in the afternoon. As I told him, I only do them at 8 or 9 in the morning, but I've had to move this damn thing 3 times, so I feel bad. So we're doing it at 1 in the afternoon because I want to get him out. I want you to hear how this can change your agency as well. It is January 26th. They always want to know that, Brenden. First question. Are you an iPhone or you a Droid user?
iPhone, through and through.
No. That's the only part I don't like about you. And I won't talk much about you. Hey, Brenden, what's the last app you downloaded?
Last app I downloaded. The NFL Playoff Exchange app. So for some of the playoff games, absolutely.
Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Dude. Great games this weekend. Wow.
Great games. I mean, 3 of them were won on a walk-off kick field goal. I mean, it's phenomenal, dude. I saw this meme yesterday. It said that they've canceled the rest of the playoffs. We're just going to do a best-of-7 series out of the Bills and Chiefs. That's what we're going to do because that game was incredible.
How could you not want that? I mean, it was captivating like through and through all the way down to the very end. And like, how is the most important play of the game the coin flip to decide who goes to the championship?
Stupid. Stupidest damn thing in sports. Do what they do in basketball. Give them 6 more minutes or 10 more minutes and say, boys, battle it out. You know what I mean? It's the stupidest damn thing, and we say this every year. So stupid. Now, one of the things that it's incredible, some of these things that we've seen. You remember the 2-minute, what was it called? The 2-minute, not the 2-minute, the 2-minute drill. Like, hey, it's 2 minutes left. You got to march your team down. I mean, that's always been the big thing. Dude. Now it's like 30 seconds. Or if you're Mahomes, you need like 14 seconds. You know what I mean? Is it? It's crazy.
I mean, good. How about the fact that like that whole Dak Prescott thing the week before, 14 seconds, QB draw, time runs out. Mahomes had 13 seconds and went something like 74 yards, and they got the field goal. It's crazy, man.
Right. These guys are so good. I mean, it's just, how do you do it quicker than 14, 13 seconds? I don't know, you know?
I just love it because they are truly the best at the game. And like that was a perfect display of that. And like I think the first weekend games, were okay, but like that to me was what you want in playoff football in January. Like totally captivating and all weekend really, snow in Lambeau, Aaron Rodgers going down last second to the Niners. Love it all, man.
Dude, and they say that a guy won $167,000 or something. He put money down on all the teams to win. Man, that's a lucky son of a gun. I think he put down $5,000, and I'm thinking to myself, well, if that dude's putting down $5,000 on those wild-ass bets, he's got more money than I need and than I have, and it's not as exciting. It's more exciting when Cass puts down $100, picks the losers, and boom,
totally.
167. Cass is paying for everybody to come to BrainShare if that happens. Next question.
How about Julian Edelman, $100,000 for the Patriots? Like, dude, what's the fun in that? We know you're rich. Come on, man.
Yeah, 100
I'm a
grand.
$100 guy too.
Yeah, I mean, $100,000. My God.
Yeah.
That guy sleeps on that. He stuffs his pillows with $100,000 and he
Totally.
sleeps on it.
Totally.
Brenden, what do you love to win or do you hate to lose?
Oh, I love to win, man.
You love to win? Any
Yeah.
reason why?
I think it's probably just that competitive nature of growing up in sports, and I think that I mean, I grew up playing football, hockey, basketball, just as a kid. And, I think I always wanted to win. Um, of course, losing, you probably learn more from losing, but just that competitive
Yeah.
spirit in myself.
Yeah. Okay. Brenden, where do you live right now?
I'm in Missoula, Montana.
Missoula, Montana. Big sky country. Big
It is
sky.
fantastic.
You watch Yellowstone and you're like, hey, it's not anywhere near me, but it's pretty close. How far is Yellowstone from you? Far, isn't it?
It's a couple-hour drive. Absolutely.
Oh, okay, not
Yeah.
too far.
It's about 3-4 hours, depending upon some traffic and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Nope, not too bad. Not too bad. Brenden, last question. There's two things in the world we believe brought you to where you are today. At least at AI, that's what we believe. Skill or luck? What would you say has been a bigger factor in your life?
Man, I love that question. I'd probably say a little bit of skill, is really where I think luck got me into the position I'm in my position, like at this job, but I think the skill got me to reaching out to you, hounding you, kind of understanding the product, what the needs are, and then getting in front of you and showing you what the platform can do. That takes skill.
Yeah, it took skill. It really, truly did. Hey, take us back to diapers, college, high school, wherever you want to go back, as far as you want to. Bring us forward to where you are now.
Absolutely. Born and raised in Seattle. Spent about 13 years in the golf industry, actually. And then kind of with the pandemic, really needed a shift, kind of said, hey, I helped my old company, grew it, but I needed a change, man. I needed something different. I think like a lot of people, I looked for something that got me out of my comfort zone, to really hit the ground running, to really try to change up my life and kind of say, hey, how can I do something different? I want to make a change. I want growth. I want activity. I want to, really feel hitting the pavement again. And so I took a chance on myself. I moved to Missoula from Seattle, took a job. My boss kind of business partner kind of said, hey, we're looking for somebody. I like to think I'm like a little bit of a Tom Brady, man, that 7th round draft pick, kind of, hey, she took a chance on me. I got a chance to prove myself, to say, hey, I might not know insurance in and out, but what I do know is I got skill and hard work, good ethic, and I can take us to the promised land. I love to win. Exactly, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've been out in Missoula now for a year, helping to build Lost Run Pro, and I've just loved Missoula, man. It's been
just
fantastic.
This morning, I heard this song, and I haven't heard it in a while, and then you just said it. Isn't this amazing how things you don't ever think of or hear from, and then all of a sudden, you said, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make a change for once in my life.
Yeah, man.
I was like, when I'm driving down the road, I'm like, dude, I never have the radio on, and when I do, it plays this song. My son, my 22 and my 16-year-old, they can't stand Michael Jackson. And it's just like, I don't know what it is with this generation, but the dude was weird, but he was awesomely talented. You know what I mean?
Totally. But he does have a very either love him or hate him.
He does.
I got a lot of people who are the same way, man. They either love him or hate him.
You can't call him a freak when you compare him to these kids, what these kids are listening and watching today. I mean, God, he was normal. He just had some bad plastic surgery, I mean, God. Brenden, let me ask you a question here, though. So as you loyal listeners, give me a second here. As you loyal listeners know, Cast Dog writes commercial insurance. Travis writes commercial insurance. Now we have Jake and we have Gavin, my son. They write commercial insurance. And as we continue to grow, that's what we look for. And one of the biggest beeping problems that we always have is collecting the beeping loss runs, right? And this is so stupid for our industry that we just can't share those in the first place. Now, let's just say, Brenden, you don't really want that, or you might be out of a job. But the point is that it's stupid, and I don't see it changing anytime soon because, I mean, let's be honest. Where it's different is if you're taking a $2,000 or $3,000 auto or home from me, that's why they share it, right? The price is so competitive. It's based on relationship, hardcore at that. But in the commercial insurance, I got to admit, the fact that my largest account's around 700,000, the fact that someone can't easily get those loss runs without going through a process, I think actually is advantageous to me. And I think if you invest in tools like Loss Run Pro, then that actually gives you the advantage of they can't get mine because I know about it, but if I need to get yours, I've got technology that makes it happen. So I was looking for somebody to help me because, as you know, loyal listeners, Gavin and Jake started in August. They've been busting their butt and learning, and really now they got through the prospecting to where it was actually time to start meeting with clients. That was probably around October and November. And they had to go out and get loss runs, and they could not believe how stupid this was. Not only were they not able to get them half the damn time, but we have a formatted, just like you loyal listeners, got a formatted template that we fill in the policy numbers and shit, and we say, hey, get it back to us. By law, you're supposed to get it back. And then we send it to the carrier, and the carrier's going to send it over here, and we're arguing with the agent half the time. You loyal listeners, you know this story. So I thought to myself, there's got to be something better out. And so what we found, I went on LinkedIn, and what's so funny is Brenden, this is so funny how we found each other.
Love it.
You know, loyal listeners, how you always get those damn LinkedIn messages from people, and you're like, oh, shit, I know this. Okay. Brenden actually came and requested to follow me. And I went to go look at his profile, and I saw what he did, and I'm like, I'm looking for somebody to help me with this. Guess what? He didn't leave a message. I told him, I said, he would have been the one dude that would have left a message on LinkedIn, and I would have been like, oh my God, I really actually need this product. Yes, hook up with me. And so I just thought it was really, really great. I reached out to another loss run company. It was very hard actually to get set up with them. I kind of watched a demo, but the guy who was supposed to give me the demo wasn't there, and it was crazy. Got on the phone with Brenden. He sat down and showed me, and it's just not so much, Brenden, we're going to get on to, you give me your thing and tell the loyal listeners, but I want the loyal listeners to know it's not so much just getting the loss runs, right? So my producers like it for getting the loss runs up front. My account managers who deal with the renewals, they like it because they don't have to. On our large white whale accounts, we have to ask for loss runs every month. So think about that, loyal listeners, every month. So we've got, let's say, 9, 10, 11, 12, I don't know how many whales, and we're having to ask for it either quarterly or every month. We're asking for those because then we send them and showing them that we're going over their numbers and everything, doing what David's taught us to do. So can you imagine how much? I mean, Marvin and May and Mary Lee, they love it. So when I found this, it was about the software and the easiness that Brenden and his team made it. And so I wanted to kind of set that up there so that they kind of know where we're coming from. Since then, we have used it. Our very first one, didn't we, Brenden? It's the same day. Gavin goes in, feels it out, sends it out. He gets it back in the same day. I think it was within 2 or 3 hours. And he, poor kid, he sent out like 10 and probably got one back, before then. And now here he goes, uses this thing, and he gets it. So him and Jake were just absolutely sold. Okay, I'll shut up. As you guys know, as you can tell, this has been awesome for our agency. Brenden, is there anything I've missed? Anything you can tell them about Loss Run Pro? Give us a little bit of the history and where this came from.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just love that you guys have found the success, because that's the whole point, is that the whole industry is moving in the right direction, but it is very antiquated. It's old school, and this is one of the processes that was never solved, and it almost feels like it's the easiest one. So right. what we did was we just tried to simplify it. Like, in a lot of my demos, I say, man, like, we have the ability, and a lot of these other programs out there, right? They do 100 things, right? And they overpromise, and I think, they deliver on lots, but maybe not all of them. We wanted to just solve one problem, man. Like, we do barbecue food and we do it well. So we get loss runs. That's it, man. That's the point. We don't need to do anything special. The platform is fantastic. So as you said, it's an agency platform. It's built around getting loss runs for new business. And then, Cass, as you mentioned, the secondary part that I don't think people really realize about the system, it's the renewal process for that monthly, the semi-annually. 60 days out from renewal. It's a completely automated system. So both the new business, the prospecting tool, it absolutely can automate and streamline from an agency perspective, as you mentioned, for Jake. Jake loved it the first day. He was like, this is fantastic,
Yeah.
But then also from an agency perspective, like, you guys have the ability now to track it through the portal, so we know where it's at any time. From the insurance standpoint, they have to sign one time, and it bypasses the incumbent broker going directly to the carrier.
And Brenden, here's the other thing. So we still have DocuSign for 3 of our account managers, but we also had to buy it for our producers, right? Because they're trying to send these things out.
Totally.
We got rid of those. So $45 a freaking a user. We eliminated those for the 3 of them for the producers. You guys have the e-signature right inside the thing.
It's built in.
The letter that you guys populate is professional as can be, beautiful on their letterhead. I mean, someone was thinking. Did they have agents help develop this? I mean, who the hell developed this? This is one product actually you can say, wow, some agent developed this.
We did. We spent all of 2020 in betas and focus groups, but our focus groups and betas were with IMA, Graham, Heffernan, Connor Strong, the Partners Group, like some big hitters in the industry. And they helped build out the interface. Like, what is the actual problem, right? Like,
that's why.
Why is it? We don't need it to be more complicated. There's enough of that. How simple and automated can we make this bare bones and do exactly what it's going to say it's going to do, and also be cost efficient, right? Like, you don't need DocuSign anymore. DocuSign's great, but like, we built out our own, and that's fantastic. Right. And it's worked just as we expected for you. And that's the point. But really, the simplicity of it is its greatest aspect, because if you're in commercial, the pain points, and the insureds certainly know the pain points. So if it not only helps you from an agency level, but then on the second side, it's making you look better to your potential customers, man. And it's $29 a month. Like, come on.
Now here's the thing. Think about this, Brenden. So the person who my prospect, right, that I'm dealing with, when we use Loss Run Pro and it just comes to them and floats to them, the loss runs are sent to them directly, which is one of their things, and then they send it to me. They don't know any different. They think that that's just the way the system works. But yet the prospect that I have to do this with, and it doesn't work efficiently, they start to think to themselves, because Loss Run Pro can only do what the carrier allows it to do. It's met at a limitation. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I'm dealing with this guy right now, and I'm helping Gavin with it because we cannot get the loss runs. You've been working with me, Brenden, and we're with the carrier, and we're dealing with that. But here's the deal. My point is, the prospect is wondering, what the hell's going on? Like, why is this so hard to get? Why is this kid Gavin constantly calling me once a week asking for this shit? So when it all goes perfect, the prospect doesn't know. But when it doesn't go perfect, that's when the prospect knows. And I can't tell you how many prospects Jason Cass has pissed off over the last 20 years because I'm like, hey, did you get that yet? Hey, did you get that yet? Knocking at their door. Hey, I know I called you, but now I'm sitting at your door. Did you get that yet? And it's been, how many accounts was I not able to quote in my career because I couldn't get the damn loss runs, right?
I couldn't have said it better myself, and not only when it works to perfection, they don't know. They hit one button, e-sign, right? And it does it all. You get the loss run.
Does it all.
Simple. But to your point, like, the next step of Loss Run Pro, we know that this is a problem not only for agencies and insureds, but we've also gone now and talked to these carriers. It's a pain for the carriers. They're getting loss run requests thousands and thousands a day from all over, different forms, different ways. Where are the losses? Who are the losses? What are the reports, right? We're starting to go to them. They are like the first, almost like saying, hey, we are in, man. But what we need Loss Run Pro to do is go prove the model works. And so we had, 70 pilot users last year? And now we have well over 1,100, so we're growing at a rapid rate. And the carriers are awesome, man. They're lining up. We're getting meetings with them because the direct APIs with them are coming. That's the next step. That's the next growth.
Ooh.
Having the ability to get direct loss runs from these carriers that's the next step. That's the next, kind of next 12-month roadmap for Loss Run Pro, because that's truly, we know the model works now. So how do we make it better? How do we simplify it? How do we even remove the insured even one step further, right? Like,
correct.
And this is because we also know it works on the renewal level, right? Because you guys already control those accounts. So now if we can get these direct APIs, man, dude, lightning quick. Solving the problem.
I like your motivation there. So you come to the carriers and don't spook them so much with, hey, when we need to get loss runs from the first time, let's help the agent in helping the account manager who has to go after the renewals. So if you attack that way, that means you're also going to get the other side too. Because I guess what it is we need a clearinghouse, right? We need like a station to where they all come to, but this place is locked down security that you still have to have permission. I'm not asking for anything that's not going on now. We're just asking for a smoother process, right, Brenden?
Absolutely. And we don't even need to be like the warehouse. We just want the flow of information. And so what we're using is a little bit of that renewals process because, hey, we already control those accounts. Let's get the flow of information between Loss Run Pro and the carriers, right? So we're going to some of these larger kind of like national companies, the hubs, the USI, right? Like, and we're partnering with them. We're redoing workflows to incorporate Loss Run Pro on a large scale to where now we can go to these carriers and say, hey, Cincinnati or whoever, right? Like, we're now sending you guys 5,000 requests a month. Let's and the carriers are like, man, we love it, we're getting to that point. Like, that's the goal. So, it's super exciting, man, because we have a platform, cost effective, simplifies it from an agency level, absolutely simplifies it from a customer standpoint, right? The agency's our customer. We've solved that problem, but how do we make you guys look better? And then top of that, beyond the new business section, the renewal is streamlining current workloads. Like, it's saving hours today of someone's salary. You mentioned Marvin, right? That's actual hours. Those are minutes and hours that he's putting in. We've streamlined that entire process by allowing you guys to schedule on a monthly, quarterly, annual basis all of your loss runs.
Yep. No, it's really phenomenal. Marvin absolutely loves it. The agents, it's funny too, because whenever they may have to wait a week for loss runs, they think they're not as frustrated anymore. They know it's coming, and they know they don't have to deal with it like they did in the month of October and November. So kudos to you. I love the API idea. That is freaking phenomenal. I think that is the first step. That could be a watershed moment for us to being able to piece this together. Give us the technology. Trust in us that we're going to still require, the signatures coming from the insured. That needs to stay the same way. But let's just make the process a little easier. Come on, and let's all get rich doing it in the same day. You get rich, we get rich. The customer saves money, makes them more rich. Everybody gets rich. That's the American way.
I love it, man. I'm in. And let's all use Loss Run Pro. That's the whole idea,
That's right, brother.
That's it, and my business partner Regan, she 2 businesses. She owns a premium finance company, 3 kids, and she's building out. She's become an engineer this whole time. Like, she's just killing it, man. I don't know how she does it, but what she's done and the direction she's got us going is pretty incredible. And we've got the use cases. It's been validated by you guys and plenty of others because it does
plenty
work.
of others.
Yeah.
I felt stupid. I've told about 2 or 3 other agents. They're like, bro, you write commercial and you haven't been using them? I'm like, well, son of a bitch, why didn't you tell me? So what I'm doing is I'm putting it on the podcast, loyal listeners, so you can hear it. Let's wrap it up with these 2 questions. Leaders are readers and readers are leaders, and you are a leader, so you must be a reader. What are you reading right now?
I'm reading a book. I'm actually in a leadership course out of Arizona. And right now we're reading a book on moods and how it affects our leadership ability in the office environment. So I'm working.
Do you remember the name of it?
I don't remember the name of it. No,
I know. I'm the dude too that never remembers it. People are like, "What's the author?" I'm like, "Man, I don't know. It was a bright color on the shelf, so I decided to get it off."
Yeah, he told me to read it. I bought it off of Amazon. It's on my desk at home. It's like I read. I read it when he sends me the email, but it's crazy. I do love that stuff, man, because it's all intertwined, man. My mood at home dictates how I show up every day, and how I'm a boss at the office, and vice versa. How I go home, man, my mood, what I take home, it absolutely is intertwined, and I love it.
That's why I usually, right before I go home, I mean, I want to be in a good mood. I want to be smiling the best I can, so I take about 3 shots of tequila. And I tell you, some days it's good, some days it doesn't work. I'm joking, loyal listeners. Last question. You spending your time on Netflix with your boo, watching Hulu, spending your time on Amazon Prime. What are you watching right now?
I just got over COVID, so I watched everything. But what I watched last night, I actually watched Encanto last night, and 2 nights ago I watched Moana. I'm on to Disney movies, man. Like,
really?
I've never and I figured I'd give them a chance. They're really good.
They're good. They make them for the adult and for the kid.
Totally. And I spent 14 days in quarantine, so I watched everything on Netflix. The War After Tomorrow or whatever was on Amazon Prime. All these series. I was like, all right, I got to give some of these Disney shows a chance. Someone told me, and so I watched them, and they're actually pretty, man, they were good.
You know what I do? I say, as I said a minute ago, it's for the adult and for the kid. Brenden, you and I just can't figure out which one we are of those people, right? That's the problem. So maybe that's why the Disney movies are good. Hey, appreciate you coming on here. Appreciate you telling us about Lost Run Pro. Tell your company they're doing a fantastic job. If they want to reach out to you, where can they find you, Brenden?
Yeah, we're at lostrunpro.com or bcorr, CORR, at lostrunpro.com.
Or you can find him on LinkedIn.
Or on LinkedIn,
That's right.
Absolutely. Super appreciate the opportunity to come on. Love chatting with you, man. And thanks for using the product, and thanks for being a loyal user of the platform. We really appreciate it.
Ooh, a loyal user, listeners. Look at that. You could be more loyal to somebody else. Appreciate you, Brenden.
Cheers, man.
Hey, this has been Jason Cass. Remember, tell me your thoughts and tell me your ideas, and I'm going to tell the world what you have to say. This has been Cass. He's Corr, and we are out.